I'm recording now, and I'm sharing screens now. So,
Okay.
I think it works. Do you see that we're recording up top?
Yes.
Okay.
Zoom meeting recording, yes.
Okay, so it's going to work. Okay, so let's see. We're in this kind of mode like we usually are. So if I share screens with you, Greg, that means that you'll be able to see my screen, right? When we do snapshot, you can never see the pictures, and I always put them in afterwards. So it's going to be really good to do it this way. So now we can record it, and you can see the pictures as well.
Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, that's a rather dramatic picture.
Yes.
Do you know any history to it?
We're going to be talking about that real quick. Give me 3 seconds, and we're out.
All right.
This is Luca Majno. I'm back with Frank Gregory Ford. This is Global News Update on TLBTV, courtesy of the Liberty Beacon Project. And this is where we give you complete, backstage, up-to-date info as to the developments occurring in our world today. We're very happy to be back on the show. Greg, it's good to see you.
Likewise.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm just noticing right now, Greg's got the same face, I think, as I do. Something told me, oh, you got to shave before you go on. And I said, nope, today I'm not shaving. This is what I look like. This is how I feel. That's it. Game over. Okay. So I said to myself, it doesn't matter. Maybe that looks a little tougher, So yeah, how was your day before we get into Snapshot?
Okay. Well, by the way, if you've got a round baby face like I do, with pudding cheeks, you need all the help you can get. Look more tougher.
You're growing your top hair back too.
Oh, yes. Oh, you're right. Okay. That grows fairly quickly. So what I did, I shaved both of them at the same time, and so they're actually facing each other. So
cool. Well, today we realized one thing which is really important. We realized that we could record our shows.
Yes.
It sounds pretty stupid to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We could record our shows and also do Snapshot together so that Greg can also see the images that we're showing simply by sharing screens. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share screens with Greg, and here we are recording our show with Gregory Ford and me together, and Greg can see the pictures. I really wanted to start out with this one, but first I said to myself, no, start out with the real hook, line, and sinker. Today I wanted to start out with the Georgia Guidestones. Why? Well, it seems that the New World Order's agenda is right in our face, and we don't even see it. Etched in secret, but shown in public. The Georgia Guidestones, they're called. They're in Delbert County, Georgia. The New World Order. It isn't what it seems. It's an illusion pulled over our eyes to blind you from the evil that has been right in front of your face since you were born. I want you to research it. Until next time, we'll have a quiz on Tuesday. In 12 different languages, they show us the same thing, that they want to keep the population of the world under 500 million. That's like over 90% of us, 97% of us. And what do people do? They get married underneath. Isn't that cute? Right? While other people that are waking up, of course, it's not very nice to do that, but this is actually what the real reaction is. 9/11 was an inside job, too. I thought that was amazing. You can change that 80 to 90, too. The Georgia Guidestones, okay? We're going to talk about the 3%ers in the next show, because if I start talking about this, Greg and I are going to be stretching our show to 1 hour. But research it. The numeral 3 inside the 13 stars. Flu shot. Look at the third one down. High dose for seniors. No comment. We may all come from different ships. We have all come in on different ships, right? But we're all in the same boat now. Something to think about.
Same lifeboat.
Yeah, there you go. Look at this. I've been a journalist for about 25 years, and I was educated to lie, to betray, and not tell the truth to the public. This is the
Hmm.
kind of screenshot that I like because in very brief moments, it explains us, what we need to understand. When Greg talks about the CIA, it's the function of the CIA to keep the world unstable and to propagandize and teach the American public to hate and fear. Uh,
Ab- Absolutely correct.
and
In every sense of the word, right now.
the catchphrases, look at that, Greg. World unstable, propagandize. That's a whole show in itself. Those words are a whole show in itself. And we got three more quotes from the CIA. It owns everyone in any significance in the major media. We'll know when our disinformation program is complete, when everything the American public believes is false. I'm sure everybody knows that. Most anybody, any truther has seen, these quotes before. Deception is a state of mind and a mind of the state. It's the mind of the state to deceive. Didn't somebody say
interesting. Well, what was interesting is, what was it, William Colby, Casey, and I didn't catch the other person who authored that quote. Oh, Casey Angleton.
Yeah.
Of course, James Jesus Angleton. All right.
There you go. Good. Well, you'll be able to talk about that, I'm sure. This is really interesting, okay? You don't have a government, you have a corrupt regime. That's why these guys got retirement packages and these guys got bullets.
Either gold or bullets. That's your choice in the government nowadays.
Hollow points too, right? This one is really, really a lot more serious than we like to admit. World Bank, Bechtel, they say Bechtel, Veolia, Nestle, and other New World Order corporations are pushing global privatization of our planet's water supply, making clean water unaffordable to most. Artificially created droughts. Listen to the key words. Artificially created droughts by weather manipulation, plus the intentional poisoning of wells and groundwater with hydraulic fracking and its chemicals, as if one wasn't enough. They're all Zionist methods used to seize control of the Earth's clean water. So it's really something to think about, because the tacit agreement comes into focus here, because with our silence, we're allowing it to continue. We're actually enabling it. Look at this. 1/3 of nurses are leaving their jobs and losing faith in vaccines. I said to myself, hell no. I'll be willing to bet that nurses are now waking up to see what the agenda is, because it's so plain and obvious what's in them and what they're doing, the damage that they're doing. If all insects on Earth disappeared, within 50 years, all life on Earth would end. And if all human beings disappeared from the face of the Earth, within 50 years, all forms of life would flourish.
That, by the way, that's Jonas Salk was a family friend, growing up.
Right.
All right. So yes, very, very a wonderful humanitarian in every sense of the word.
Fighting terrorism since 1492. These were actually the real safeguarders of this country, or this nation that we have, North America, Turtle Island. They were really the ones that fought terrorism from the very beginning. Hi, I'm Vince Foster. Remember me? I was the one who was going to testify against Hillary Clinton, but I committed suicide on a park bench by shooting myself twice in the back of the head. Okay.
With a single shot revolver.
Right.
Okay.
Greg, you have an affinity towards Phil Marshall and his family.
Yes.
My affinity rests with the Crowley family. And I think the dog wasn't shot in that case. No, the dog was allowed to live, I think. He was pacing around the house frantically when they were found. I did this in honor of him and his family, because he was as most people know, he was the the filmmaker that was in the middle of doing Gray State, which was showing us FEMA camp life and martial law. And all of a sudden, he gets his whole family kills himself, right? And he suicides himself. This is called In Honor of a Warrior. And I share this on social media quite often. And it's important for me to get this out because in 1668, in the movie, what's it called?
You're thinking of the Da Vinci Code is the first.
There you go. This is from the Da Vinci Code. Okay, and this is a quote. I had to pause the movie to get this all because they give you hints in movies. In 1668, the church kidnapped 4 Illuminati scientists and branded each one of them on the chest with the symbol of the cross and purged them of their sin and executed them. Then they threw their bodies out onto the street as a warning to others to stop questioning church rulings on scientific matters. They radicalized them. La Purga created a darker, more violent Illuminati, one bent on retribution. So I said, okay, in 2015, government agents go into a movie director's house and kills every member of the family in cold blood, leave them right where they fell in their own pool of blood as a warning to others. Stop telling the truth about government's agenda, the future plans, and their apathy towards their own citizens. They radicalize them little by little, creating a more courageous, more vocal, and empowering people, citizens bent on retribution. I'm sitting here stuttering. Greg, I think you're one of them. You're one of our heroes because we're, listening to you blow the whistle.
By the way, turn back to that picture of the Crowley family.
It's right here. That's what I'm ending with.
Okay, yes. Now, something that isn't known to anybody, the poor Crowley family is barely known, thanks to our media hushing up this event. But within 3 weeks, the mother of Mr. Crowley there, the mother said, look, I don't buy, she went to the county DA and said, I don't buy any of this. Okay, that yes, they committed suicide. Yeah, it was a poor, unfortunate circumstance. I want a separate forensic investigator brought in to do the postmortem. And she basically walked out that door. Okay, she was given a cup of coffee by the then contractor forensic pathologist, at the county there. This is in Minnesota. She walks out the door. She goes home. She sits down, and that was the last time she was alive. Okay, her boyfriend calls, can't find her anywhere. Goes home, goes to her home, and finds her sitting there, still in position out at the patio, her patio table, dead as a doornail. All right, and it comes down to this: is what I'm saying is, yes, when these people want to get rid of you, they'll get rid of you. Okay, yeah, like this poor unfortunate family and the Marshall family, they will actually use the whole family scenario to make it look like it was a tragedy. Exactly. Suicide/murder tragedy. All right. So does that family look like they killed each other? All right. Murder was committed. Okay. No, it doesn't. And the Phil Marshall family, same situation, except they made a mistake in the Phil Marshall family. They blasted the dog in the face.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They left the dog here alive to make sure he devoured any postmortem residue on the hands of the victims. Okay.
Wow. So
let me show basically that no, they did not shoot each other.
Let me finish this real quick. If, like they say, that the more money you have, the dirtier and more inhumane you tend to get, then think of this is dedicated to Greg, actually. Think of the Cheneys, the Dick Cheneys, the Clintons, the Bush family, Lieberman, FBI, CIA, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Big Pharma, and others. Our sickness and death becomes their riches and their power. This is very close to the end of Snapshot. This is something very interesting. I thought it was fabulous. I had to snapshot this, literally screenshot it. I've reached to the point where I agree that those who get themselves vaccinated deserve their fate. Maybe it's really natural selection after all, you know. And my friend says, you know, yeah, I've thought that too. It's sad. Dan Cope is one of my heroes too on social media. He says, as cold-hearted as it sounds, I tend to agree. The word is out. They are deceiving us. Anyone that doesn't heed the warning, you know, has nobody to blame but him or herself. So I went on and I said, damn right. Not only are they getting what they deserve, but believe it or not, they're enabling it all. And so I have come to feel about those suffering from cognitive dissonance. Excuses no more. This is probably what I'm going to end Snapshot with, because it's a powerful image of the tables turned. And if you don't appreciate what you have, it will be taken away from you, literally. Be it Mother Earth, be it life, by natural law. This is too important for me because nobody realizes what we have done to the Indian nations here to be where we are. And there's a very good reason for that. So I'm going to stop sharing here, Greg. And it looks like we are back in full form, and we're back to the normal format, which is cool.
I'm glad you discovered that, Luca. Thank you. Okay. Now, you know, I just want to, you know, wrap things up here. Okay. First of all, and this happens every day now with this bullshit in the news media. Just crap. Okay. Oh, you know, the President Trump, he's really digging in about this healthcare issue. There is no healthcare issue, folks. All right. Understand this, and I'm going to get to Mr. Obama later, okay? But here, Mr. Obama said, all right, Goldman Sachs, you know, Wall Street, look, hey, we need to overhaul healthcare system. We need to figure out how to make more money, all right, than we are now. So go ahead. Everyone that brought the healthcare problem, the crisis, okay, to the American people, yes, you now have the job of figuring out how to make more money with this make-believe program that he produced, okay? The same people that gave us the problem in the first place, guess what, folks? They invented Obama's healthcare program, all right? So we don't really have a healthcare problem. I've already solved it. I've never been challenged on my healthcare proposal. Okay, real simple. And we've got a working draft of my healthcare proposal every single day. Every time you hear a politician speak or open his mouth on CNN, you know, whether it be, you know, the real estate slug, Trump himself, the snake oil salesman, or that turtle, what is it, Mitch McConnell, okay? Does he look like a turtle or what? All right.
He looks like a washed out rag that's been in the same job for too long is what he looks like.
Well, the thing is this. They don't pay for their health insurance. No politician pays for their own health insurance. They stick it to the taxpayer. That's right. You, me, everyone listening to this.
I'm not paying taxes, Greg. I'm not.
No, but the point being is this, the American people, hey, we're paying for this. We want the same healthcare program that our elected pimps, okay, we'll call them pimps, because they're definitely not doing their job, all right, as elected representatives of the people. We want the same healthcare program as they're getting, okay? They get the very best. You know, one of these jokers gets shot on a baseball diamond, and they bring in 15 of the top surgeons in the world to take care of him. Okay, hey, who paid for that? You did, I did, everybody in America did. So here's what we're going to do: instead of paying for all these ridiculous, pointless wars, okay, billions of dollars a day going down the tubes, okay, we are going to make sure everybody in the United States has free health care. okay? And to make sure these oily, sleazy sons of bitches don't pull a fast one on everybody when they're not looking, here's what we're going to do, okay? I think this is a good idea. I'm very limited, you know, in my intellectual capability as a result of being tortured, okay, by MK Ultra drugs. So here's what I thought of, okay? And you can call in and give me your opinion, folks. Is something like this. From now on, we are not going to pay anyone in the medical profession that doesn't do the job, all right? That doesn't cure you from whatever condition. You know what will happen? It will be a miracle. The American Cancer Society will come up with the greatest cures ever, thanks to their extensive research programs that they have been working on secretly, of course, all these years.
Counterproductive. Okay?
Yeah. So here's the deal: is that no one gets paid until they cure the patient. Okay. And and another thing you won't see either. By the way, I'm getting a little interference from NSA on my end. Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Is this all these new diseases? I mean, what is it? We have 150 from the turn of the 20th century. We have something like 156 new diseases directly connected to industrial refining processes, pollution, you name it, lack of nutrition. You know, it goes on and on.
Greg,
okay,
you just
those will all magically disappear.
Can you hold your thought right there? Can you just hold your thought so I can throw something in?
Yes, by all means.
In northern Canada, in NUNAVUT, in the province of NUNAVUT.
Yes, I know.
By the way, they gave them the province of NUNAVUT. I said, no, they didn't. They gave it back.
They gave it back, yes.
In the province of NUNAVUT, a case of 24 water, as we know it, costs $104.95. A quart of cranberry juice will go up to $12.95.
Okay.
You know, flour goes up to $7 or $8 or $9 or $10 or $11. And okay, diseases are rampant. Diabetes is rampant. Undernourishment is rampant. Right. This is just it's like out of sight, out of mind. They don't care. It's the agenda. It's Agenda 21 and it's slow genocide. Same thing.
Yeah, I lived in Nunavut, by the way, for your listeners. I lived in the thriving metropolis of Yellowknife, Northwest Territories. Yeah. All right. So all I can say, okay, to all of this is, and I have yet to meet anybody that's reasonable. Forget neocons; they're just a bunch of half-wits. Okay. No, the deal is this. Quite simply, is if I become president, guess what? American people are going to get. They're going to get health care, the best. No, we are not going to have 11 or 12 wars like we have now going on. No, those are toast. All right. And yes, Julian Assange, as we know it now, he is going to be appointed the head of the CIA.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Yes. All those kleptocrats out there. Okay. Those robber barons of multi-generations. Right, Mr. Cheney? Right. Okay. Yes, there's going to be a reckoning. And all those FEMA camps, okay, that are now being used. Oh, that's very important now, because the excuse to use those FEMA camps has been initiated the last month, as in hurricane relief. Okay. And surprise, there's something new going on, folks. I want everybody to turn up their radios or turn up their computers or whatever. Okay. It's quite like this. It goes like this. Okay. The misfortunate go into these camps. You know, all these camps out in the middle of nowhere, they're put there so you won't see, no one will see what's going on there. Okay. Here, you know, and you can give a definition to this term. It's called ethnic cleansing. All right?
Not familiar?
Ethnic cleansing. You don't understand what that means? Look up Serbia, Bosnia. All right? Serbia, Bosnia. And yes, they have been used before in the United States to seize the properties of the Japanese American citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Those are American citizens, but guess what? They had their property seized using the same method. All right. So, surprise. Now, concentration camps are nothing new. You know, the British, you know that magical kingdom. Okay, they started the camps, concentration camps, to handle the Mau Mau uprising. That was the Kikuyus of Africa that were, rising up against the exploitation by the British, okay, of the tribal people for everything from labor, to actual manpower utilization. So yes, the Kikuyu were the first to go into British concentration camps, and it worked so well. Guess what? Yes, there we go. The Kikuyu.
There's one.
It looks like, okay. That I'm looking from my side. That looks like Germans, a German camp.
How Germans colonize. Pictures of Southwest Africa. In French, it says comment l'Allemagne colonise. Photographie du Sud-Ouest africain. Yeah, it's a French.
Yes, SWA. Okay, that's where forced labor came from. They call it Namibia now. All right.
And this is the other one.
This is going to save those pictures. They're going to come in handy with what I'm going to tell our listeners. All right. Now, absolutely, yes, those camps were used by the Germans. Okay, that's where they started getting ideas for World War II. Gosh, to put everybody from gypsies to the misbegotten, these poor mentally deficients, to plain old Jewish folks. Okay, Jews were rounded up and put into those camps. They worked so well. So why on earth, when these camps were built, on a contract basis in America, they worked so well for raiding the Japanese properties that were owned by the Japanese, World War II. Okay, so why not start up the same thing when Hurricane Katrina came along? All right, now this government, okay, was being run by a Nazi hierarchy, okay, called the Bush family. All right, Nazis. All right, you have a problem with that? Too bad. Go look them up. Nazis, right down to their toenails.
Go look at the name. Go look at the name Scherf.
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, the whole regime has been passed on to that astounding drug dealing sleazy slime ball named Jeb. Okay, it didn't go to George. Obviously, they wouldn't even give it to George. No, he started 9/11. He gave us 9/11 with the help and engineering of that great mountain of integrity, Dick Cheney. Okay, the Israelis did the heavy lifting. Remember, the Saudis paid for it. Anybody got a problem with that? Too bad. All right, but in the meantime, these FEMA camps all of a sudden came about out of the embarrassment of Katrina and the impotency of how our government behaved. First of all, at 9/11, all right, and secondly, at Hurricane Katrina, when our government brought in Blackwater, American mercenaries. What now? Wasn't it George H.W. Bush who said, "No, we don't send mercenaries around the world. No, we just bring them into our own cities, American cities."
Right.
And then we have FEMA camps. The idea behind FEMA camps, ostensibly, for those of you who are unfortunate graduates of the Leave No Child Behind program, remember that? Okay, the George W. Bush program, and the great humanitarian Barr. That's what they call Barbara. Okay, Bush, Barr. All right. Now, she was almost as much of a humanitarian as Nancy Reagan was when she said, "Oh, just say no to drugs." Here she was, married to the largest drug dealer on the face of the planet, Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush. Okay, so believe me, folks, don't believe anything these folks tell you. But in the meantime, we've got ethnic cleansing going on, all right? You think these people like the CIA, the cocaine importation agency, you know, they're busy, by the way, wiping out some of the top producers of heroin, okay, poppy fields in Afghanistan. Because why? Not because they're selling bad old drugs and they're financing terrorism. Boy, do we got one for you there. Okay, no, they're competition. All right?
Yeah.
Competition. We don't, you know, our oligarchs don't like competition, especially for drugs. All right? That's been the CIA's venue since 1945. Chiang Kai-shek paid his people by drugs sold to American citizens. All right? Guess who was there heading that effort up? Any guesses, George? All right. You know, Mr. Bush, any guesses? Okay. Well, here, on these FEMA camps, I want to get back to this. I want to get this out before our time's up. Okay. Yes, the misfortunate were supposed to be in those camps. Well, yeah, they are misfortunate. Okay, because they're in those camps. But also, those camps are designed to handle troublemakers, people that actually understand what's going on and actually get out in the media and say, please, please, people, wake up. Do not trust this. Yes. All right. Right. Exactly. Okay. You know, I hate sleeping on cots myself, but believe me, we won't be there long because we'll be dead. All right. And
okay,
I found out something. They are the perfect training terrorist grounds. All right. They're out of sight, out of mind. You know, there's no systems that get into, you know, to deal with, you know, how the populations are dealt with inside those camps. You know, the Red Cross doesn't show up to the FEMA camps. Are you kidding me? No way. No. So what is happening now is, yes, all those terrorist training sites, okay, in remote areas like Arizona, Texas, Alaska, New Mexico, guess what? They're training terrorists now, okay? So that's what we have. When they say FEMA, believe me, folks, you better run. Do not turn yourself into these collection sites for the misfortunate. You are going to be exterminated in these camps, all right? In these camps. Anybody that believes that these things are benevolent, okay, you better think again, because you've only got one life to lose in these things. Okay, now, as far as the Black Lives Matter, you're seeing the government response to that effort. All right, folks? And by the way, I am supporting the NFL people who refuse to stand there, you know, and not show any kind of protest. They're showing courage in the face of what is going on with these militarized cops that are, you know, preferably killing everyone. All right.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, hey, what happened to warrants? Well, if you didn't hear, warrants are a thing of the past. They don't exist now. Very quietly, they got rid of warrants to protect you. Now that's been removed. Okay. There are no such thing as warrants. And it used to be that when they did have warrants, okay, to be served, they'd only serve them during the day. They wouldn't come and show up on your doorstep at 11:30, 12 at night,
right,
kick your door in, and then if you respond and shoot you dead. Okay.
Look up NDAA. Look up NDAA.
Yeah, you got it. Well, hey, folks, I just want you to know something. Okay, and this is really juicy. Okay, I'll wrap the show up. It's really juicy. You know, the one colonel, the courageous colonel, who briefed me and he and his group, Able Danger, okay, in Arizona, you know, 14 months before 9/11, he said there was going to be an attack on Washington. Colonel Anthony Schaefer. Yep. You can see him on Fox News. Tony Schaefer. All right. Well, it appears now that he is going to be filing legal charges against Obama. Okay, or Barry Soetoro or Barack Hussein Obama, whatever his name is, okay?
Nobody knows.
Well, there's nobody more qualified to evaluate, intelligence procedures and what has gone wrong. Yes, the government went after Tony Shaffer and tried to destroy him when he said, no, here's what was going on with 9/11. Here's what's happening. You can read his transcripts. You can read his transcripts, from the Senate. Okay. All right. Yes, he's probably one of the bravest, most courageous, most intelligent, most capable people America's ever produced. He is filing charges against Obama for using CIA assets, and I said that correctly, folks, CIA assets to spy on Donald Trump. Okay? Now, it's important you understand who's Barry Soetoro? Okay? Well, Barry Soetoro, his father was an MI6 operative who had infiltrated the Kikuyu or the Mau Mau uprising in Kenya. Remember I mentioned something about concentration camps? Well, guess what? Yes, he did. He helped the British put down the Mau Mau rebellion, okay? Those bad old Kikuyu that just didn't want to be exploited, okay? Well, Mr. Soetoro had to get out of Dodge pretty fast. He and his CIA wife, who was busy running death squads in Indonesia,
there you go.
Okay, at the behest of Sukarno, okay? Yeah, that's dear old mom that you hear about, right? Well, I just found this out. You know how everybody's been saying, oh yeah, Barry Soetoro, Barack Hussein Obama was born in Hawaii. Oh, really? Well, according to what the CIA produced, they should have checked on the hospital. The hospital didn't even exist when he was supposedly born there. Okay? Well, then we go back to Kenya. Well, hey, African, he's born in Kenya. Okay. Other than the fact that you can't be president if you're born outside the United States. No problem. Okay? No problem. The Manchurian candidate is alive and well, folks. Okay? He wasn't born in Kenya. Hang on to your hats, okay? He was born in South Africa. South Africa. Why was that? Was, first of all, dear old dad was on the run from some really pissed off Kikuyus when they found out that they had a provocateur from MI6 in their presence. And he was setting them up. They were going to kill him. Where's the safest place to put an intelligence operative like this? They put him in South Africa, all right? One of the remote provinces of South Africa. That's where Barry Soetoro was born, right? Yeah, don't believe me. And all this other stuff about Indonesia, oh, really? Gee, kind, benevolent, a family shows up, liberal mom, running the death squads, of course, working for the agency, USAID, okay? Well, folks, guess what? You were lied to for 8 years, and they're trying to lie to you now, just like they're telling you, here's the greatest thing, all right? And I'll shut up after this unless somebody else wants to hear this.
He's gone.
Okay, here's the deal, is Russia has always made a point of manipulating and maneuvering elections. So
I know where he's going with this. I know where he's going with this. RIM.
So right? What? You think what? And you don't think that we just manipulated the French vote, the French election? Sorry to tell you this, folks, but yeah, we're doing the same thing. But here, hold on to your hats, okay? Who has benefited? As in, you said it yourself. You said it yourself, Luca, is who has benefited dramatically since Mr. Trump has been elected. Uh-oh. Oi. If you listen very carefully, you'll hear this. Oi. Oi. Israel. Okay. Israel manipulated the election. They manipulated the votes. And this was, and gee, is anybody suspicious? No, nobody's saying a word, even from the fact that they killed 3,000 people in the most prominent city in the world 3,000 people in 9/11, okay? And hell, guess what? It was Israelis that were calling the shots in Washington, and it was Israelis who made billions and billions of dollars on 9/11. And now, guess what? You know, we've got the premier of Israel high-fiving it and shucking and jiving with this president's son-in-law. Okay, you know what? I forget what his name is.
Oh.
So, Izzy something or other.
So, we have it written on the bottom of the screen. Greg, I can't thank you enough, but we really got to go. It's been a pleasure. And
yeah, there we go.
What I'm going to do is share screens with you again, because I want to show you something that I am going to finish the show with, and it's right here. This is a picture of our inipi, as they call it, our sweat lodge, which is a 10,000-year-old tradition for people that don't know, and it's giving back to Mother Earth. What you have is the sacred fire in this area down here to the left, in the middle of the photograph,
right?
And the hole in the middle of the center of the lodge. It's called the sweat lodge. Some people call it the inipi. Some people call it a hut. It depends. They have 500 different traditions for 500 different nations, and different ways of doing things as well. And it's giving thanks to Mother Earth, and that's what I want to do at the end of the show, is to give thanks to our First Nations and our original people for giving us such a beautiful tradition. And hopefully, Creator willing, we can keep those traditions alive. Thank you so much, Greg. It's a pleasure and an honor to be able to share with you, and we'll keep this going next show. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any questions? Have everybody call us, Luca.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Okay. There it is, my friend.